Hi, my name's Bryce. Welcome back to VHS Play, where we are going to be playing Metroid Prime and recording it all on VHS. Last time, we went through the crashed frigate, and now we are in Phazon Mines. Power surges detected. Tell me, hint system, where am I going? Surges located within mining compound. We're going to the central dynamo. Whoa. Alright, now that there's not the distractions of fairly mean turrets, to be perfectly honest. Now I'm distracted by space pirates. Doot. Oh, jeez. It is... So this is like your first major run-in with space pirates since you get the ice beam, unless like you've gone back and done... unless you've gone back specifically to do some... some backtracking and item finding. Crane unit scan indicates recent use. Devices currently inactive. So you have like all of the fun of, at this point, you're coming in and you've got the ice beam for the first time and using it against pirates, and they just burst into crumbly bits of ice if you shoot them with a charge shot. Hey, feels pretty powerful. Where have we seen this texture before? Transfer of building materials complete. Processing of materials for Xenome containment units underway. Report all Phazon mutations to science team immediately. All units with useful mutations will receive an increase in pay and rations. Elite and trooper candidates are now being selected by command. The crane controls are functional but require power. Hey, there's a power conduit somewhere nearby, and it's gonna have a heat signature. And we need to shoot it with electricity. Again, that's the entire gimmick. Like, the entire actual purpose for the, for the thermal visor. Like, there's some combat potential, and it's kind of required for a final boss. Kind of. Like, I think you can get by without it, but it will, like, have a phase where it's just like, aha, you have to be switching visors, and you need to... If you don't have the thermal visor, then, you know, you can't find the boss during that phase unless you can suss out where they're at. I believe there are just some plain old clues kicking around. Dual control force field is online. Deactivation controls are likely nearby. Primary force field control disabled. Secondary force field control disabled. Why do I always think that there's something over here? There's just this explodey box. So again, the music's doing just a real bang-up job here. Like, there's some real good, just ambient sound to it. You've got like the low tones, and like it is working to like try to build suspense. Because we're going into another pirate stronghold, ultimately. Structural integrity of Bendesium gates is low. That is a real easy corner to forget about. Okay, perimeter defense turret malfunction. I wonder if they chose those enemies specifically because it's a throwback to your last siege. Like, basically that was when you were in the belly of the beast and you're breaking out. Those are the enemies that you run into. And they're also like the first enemy that you ran into in sieging the Fendrano labs. The first enemy that you see is one of those pirates. So I wonder if they were specifically selected to be like a throwback of just like, hey, remember the feel of siege? You're in that again. Force field active, access prohibited. But at the same time, like, you have the ice beam and you can just ruin their day flat out. And then you get these trippy dudes. Morphology, Wave Trooper, space pirate armed with wave beam technology. Space pirates have reverse engineered several of your weapons, including the wave beam. A flaw in the design makes these pirates vulnerable to their own beam weapons. Or beam weapon system, there we go. These weapons are inferior to your Chozo designed originals, but still quite potent. Wave Troopers, more than anything, are just kind of obnoxious because I think the Wave Beam deals the least amount of damage of any of your weapons. But it does have this stun, so just Wave Troopers are just like, alright, cool. Charge beam, shoot them, and then just keep doing that because, like, they're going to end up in the stun lock state, but you just have to keep shooting them. The doors have unlocked. That feeling when it's just like, wait, the door's blocked? Security bioscan locks in place. Locks keyed to space pirate life signs. Only access denied. It's interesting that they have like these side passages that you can just never go into. Microfractures present in Bendesium Gate, Blast Gate. but I want to scan the thing. So we get here, like we've just been introduced to the idea that the space pirates are trying to reverse engineer our technology. Which makes sense. We've been, destroying them across at least one planet. I don't remember where this takes place in, like, the official full timeline of everything. I guess things respawn behind me. That's fine. But yeah, we've just been destroying them so much. They're just like, hey, wait a minute. There might be something to that armor. Oh boy, the ice beam sure does feel good. Unit Ident Code EPG8642, Batch 23, Field Designation Elite Pirate Alpha, Stasis Tank Hull reinforced with Bendesium alloy plates. Remember that for later. Probably not this episode. Recommended battle systems for Elite Pirates are as follows. Shoulder-mounted plasma artillery cannon, repulsion shield, wave quake projector energy siphon system, and retractable wrist bayonets. The new pirate data. Space pirate encrypted data decoded. Log 11.001.9 Initial Project Helix experiments with the space pirate embryos were disastrous. The phazon infusion process degenerated brain tissue even as it augmented muscle mass. None of what we have termed elite pirates lived to maturity. The few that survived their infanthood suffered severe psychotic breakdowns as juveniles, killing anything within their zone of perception. Research team Sierra made a recent breakthrough in which parasite studies with the phazon strain codenamed Vertigo were highly successful. Since then, we have fused Vertigo phazon with space pirate DNA with great success. The latest batch of elite pirates have reached maturity successfully and are ready for field testing and training. There's some sort of trick to this room in the randomizer. I think it's just like if you were able to break this thing, it sets the room state in a weird way that these platforms are lowered, and that prevents certain enemies from like having fully spawned or something. We just have to do it the regular old vanilla way. Security alert, all stations. Bioform Samus Aran has made planetfall on Talon 4. The Hunter is among us. All units are hereby ordered to attack Aran on site. Terminal force is authorized. Report all sightings of Aran to Security Command at once. Platform systems active. That one was a little weird. I don't know why the side images didn't load while I was scanning. Anyway, new creature has been added. Morphology Power Trooper. Space Pirate armed with Power Beam technology. Space Pirates have reverse engineered several of your weapons, including the Power Beam. A flaw in the design makes these pirates vulnerable to their own beam weapon system. These weapons are inferior to your chosen design. Originals, blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing, except the only thing they change in the description is what flavor of beam. Industrial Pulse Beam online. Auto-firing mode engaged. Attention all units, report to your battle stations. Let's let the beam finish firing so we don't have to deal with that noise. Failure to comply with this order is an act of treason. Treason is punishable by termination. Surface integrity at 8%. Further pulse beam exposure could cause collapse. Surface integrity at 42%. Presence of thermal power signature detected. Further pulse beam exposure could cause collapse. It's 13. I don't know why these were all given different numbers, but that's kind of neat. 44, 23, 31. Missile expansion, hooray. So you can take the time to blast all of the walls. That's the only one that has anything in it. And this one's your hint to do that. Oh, this puzzle. Paratroopers are, like, admittedly, paratroopers are kind of the scariest ones until you realize that a single super missile will take them down. Great. We need to actually solve this puzzle. Hooray, we solved puzzle the first. Bomb the thing once. Was there something to scan on that? Sure was. This hologram represents the central pillar in this room. The pillar contains several rotating sections. They can be moved to gain access to different areas. Rotation of the pillar will alter the path of the magnetic rail tracks. We did it. Hooray. Puzzle the second is solved. But wait, there's more. This is one of those things where, like, the puzzle's fine, it's time consuming and not particularly interesting. So I haven't really mentioned that these troopers are actually, like, fairly dangerous. Rotation control unit blocked by partial collapse of Bendesium wall. We keep seeing reference to this Bendesium, that one thing that we can't destroy yet. But yeah. In all actuality, the various troopers are actually really quite dangerous. They hit real hard, and they fire a lot, and they have good aim. Access to phase mines level 2 granted. Please step into the hologram. And then you get this view. Hey, it's that time. Bryce is going to talk about Dark Souls. I love how you can just shoot that and explodes the entirety of the vents, including the space pirates inside. So, what was I going to say about Dark Souls? So, the thing about Dark Souls 1 is that everybody was just like, oh, this interconnected map is so great. It's so good. And it is real good. And, like, one of the big things is that you can, like, really feel how the world connects to each other. And there are some, like, subtle, fibs with it, I guess. Every once in a while they do have to, like, kind of shift things to make it make more sense. But it's like, it makes sense, and it feels right. And it's, like, close enough that you don't notice those kind of seams where they've had to massage it or cheat it a little bit. Unlike Dark Souls 2, where those seams are extremely apparent. And that is not to, like, really be down on Dark Souls 2, but, like, it was that aspect of Dark Souls 2 was, like, it broke my wee heart. Anyway, so this whole interconnected world thing, like, that's something that Metroid has kind of always had, I guess, technically. Force field engaged. Deactivation required for access. Shipment of military-grade plasma artillery cannons is en route to Talon 4. The Agonoid Star Marines... Sure. The Agonoid Star Marines we acquired them from, we're letting them sit in a warehouse. Our elite pirates, on the other hand, will put them to good use very soon. Hey, it's the new creatures entry. This might be a problem. It might have been waiting for me to scan this before things happen. Morphology, elite pirate, phase-on enhanced space pirate, incredibly strong, armored, and well armed. Elite pirates are potent foes. Their energy siphon systems absorbs beam weapons shots, which they use to fuel a massive plasma artillery cannon. The nature of this system makes them vulnerable to concussion-based weapons. Well armed, the elite pirate is effective in close combat and at a distance. Their massive size can be a weakness, and their sluggish speed allows for evasion and quick attacks. Space pirate data. Space pirate data. Blah. Log 10.023.7. Security command issued an all-points alert after the fall of Zebes. The alert concerns Bioform Samus Aran, also known as the Hunter. Subject is a female hominid, and is heavily armed and extremely dangerous. Subject uses a powered armor suit of unknown design in battle, along with a number of potent beam and concussive weapons. All combat units are instructed to terminate Aran on sight, preferably in a fashion that will allow salvage of her powered armor suit and weapons. A considerable bounty will go to the unit who delivers Aran to command. Dead or alive, it matters not. They hate us. Log 11.156.9. Test subject ZD Yeah, we'll stick with that. Test subject ZD, hereafter referred to as Metroid Prime. They did it. They dropped the title. Was recently discovered in a cavern by mining crews. It quickly dispatched the miners, but was eventually contained by security units and drones. Once contained, we were able to begin studies upon Metroid Prime. The results have been astonishing. It is genetically similar to Metroid's, albeit on a highly evolved level. It displays a limitless capacity for phazon infusion and shows no phazon-based degeneration whatsoever. It continues to grow in size, and while it has manifested some psychotic behavior, the cold fields we use to pacify remain effective. Authorization for advanced studies on Metroid Prime have been approved. Oh. That's some, like, proper... like, monster movie sort of entrance for these things. You know what? We'll be right back. Unfortunately, there's a thing here. A rock slide has blocked off this passage. Poor ice troopers. They have it the worst. Do need to scan them, of course. And there's so much more data to scan, too. Oh, you poor soul. Ice trooper is a trooper, but they replaced all the words with ice. And they have that critical weakness of just like, oh, I'm not immune to ice? Well, I guess I will just get frozen and missiled to death. Wah. The end. So anyway, yeah, the whole thought about Dark Souls and just like the interconnected world, like Metroid Prime was doing that, like not as well and not as like cleanly, but they keep like showing you kind of the same key landmarks here and there to set you, to kind of just set your place in the world, so that like all of these disparate chunks of maps felt like they were in fact actually part of one planet. Anyway, we've got reading to do. Phazon nutrient vat elite pirate ration processing in progress. Phazon nutrient plant, same deal. I don't know why that is technically a different log entry. Consumption of elite nutrient mix by non-elite units as strictly prohibited. Failure to comply will result in a 50% ration reduction for a decacycle. Security level, Tau? Yeah, Tau will be in effect until further notice. All leaves cancelled pending downgrade of alert status. Bioform Samus Aran continues to assault our holdings on Talon 4. Security has been compromised in multiple areas, casualty rates are rising. Command has authorized a sizable bounty for the capture or termination of Aran. Report to your field officers for details. New Space Parrot. Data log 11.222.8. Science team is attempting to reverse engineer Samus Aran's arsenal based off of data acquired from her assaults on our forces. Progress is slow but steady. Command would dearly enjoy turning Aran's weapons against her. We believe we can implement beam weapon prototypes in 3 cycles. Aran's power suit technology remains a mystery, especially the curious morph ball. All attempts at duplicating it have ended in disaster. 4 test subjects were horribly broken and twisted when they engaged our morph ball prototypes. Science team wisely decided to move on afterwards. So, I feel like this is a bit... This is going to go in a slightly darker direction than I intend for it, and I think it was ever intended to go. And it's a bit darker than I usually go. But Nintendo Power at some point featured like an article about like, hey, some science group is like trying to work on, you know, teleportation sort of stuff, or like what they were dubbing warp pipe technology. I don't know if any of it was like legit, but they had this whole article about just like, hey, and they're getting ready for, you know, proper testing, and it's like, yeah, we've put some, we've got like, this is going to be our first human test subject is this guy, and you know, we've tried it with some like meat, and it's gone okay, I guess. Sometimes not, sometimes things. I don't remember much of the article. I just remember that article existed, and there was no follow-up for a long time until somebody wrote a letter in saying, hey, whatever happened to that? And the response was very glib, just like, maybe somebody got injured horribly. I don't know. Anyway, think about that sometimes. And that morph ball, for whatever reason, that morph ball entry always makes me... It reminds me of that a lot. Probably because Metroid Prime is just so intrinsically tied to Nintendo Power in my head. Anyway, that was a thing. Let's read some Space Pirate nonsense. Evaluation of plasma artillery cannons is complete. The weapons are fully functional, but a flaw has been discovered. Subpar thermal shielding gives them a high heat signature. This could make them easier to target for enemies with enhanced vision capabilities. Security alert. Computer systems compromised. Bioform Samus Aran has cracked our system. The hunter can access our system at will and is able to bypass most of our security programs. Use manually locking systems when possible. Facility command requests for elite pirate transfer to security forces granted. Prepare units EPG 8644 and EPG 8656 for field duty at once. Metroid aggression levels are rising. Be alert for any attempts by Metroids to escape from quarantine areas. Their energy absorption ability is not able to disrupt our force fields, but continued exposure to Phazon may change things for the worse. Reports on hunter activity are in. Analysis indicated that the hunter is using morph ball technology to infiltrate our facilities, recalibrate sensors to search for morph ball's energy signatures. New Space Parrot. Log 11440.4. Results are in from field studies on extinct bioform group Chozo. We believe that Talon 4 was once a stronghold in the Great Chozo Empire, brought low by the meteor strike. Planetary devastation brought an end to the Chozo, yet remnants of their society remain. We are studying these relics in an attempt to harness their power. What is of no use to us, we destroy. In time, we shall have all we need from this dead race, and shall wipe the planet clean of their ugly ruins. The dead should serve the living, not hinder them. New pirate data. Log 11.452.8. We are particularly interested in a number of curious Chozo artifacts we have been able to recover from a number of religious sites on Talon 4. These relics resonate with power, and yet we are unable to harness them in any way. Science team is attempting to fuse them together with Phazon, believing that a link might exist between them. We know that these artifacts are linked to the Chozo temple that blocks full access to the impact crater. We have yet to crack this enigma, however, Command grows impatient regarding this matter. Results must be produced soon. Phazon-infused fungal harvesting continues. Replacement of Decatriticate? Yeah, Triticate? Decatriticate with Phazon-infused fungal matter in elite ration mix has been authorized. Also, by the way, there's a force field engaged deactivated requires. Security requested deployment of elite pirates in Metroid quarantine areas. The high casualties suffered by standard pirate units deployed in Metroid areas is not acceptable. Reconfiguration of security drones authorized. Deploy new drones to mission-critical areas immediately. Force field offline, access granted. New pirate data. Log 11.402.5. Metroid Prime continues to feed and grow ever larger in the impact crater caves. Its hunger knows no bounds, and it has begun to manifest unusual mutations since its breach. These include armor plating on its epidermis and mechanical outgrowths that generate defense screens. These screens render it invulnerable to most weapon systems, but a flaw in the mutation leads it to increased vulnerability to certain weapons. It compensates for this by shifting the screens quickly. This latest development concerns security units greatly. They feel it's a matter of time before Prime corrects this defect and renders itself invulnerable to all weaponry. Containment would be nigh impossible if this were to occur. Planetary stealth technology is back online. We have evaded detection by the battlecruiser Emmons. The brief lapse in planetary security caused by the crash of our frigate is over. Now we can concentrate our efforts on Hunter. Replacement of standard hatch covers continues. Steel covers will be replaced with cordite and bendesium covers in 2 decacycles. New pirate data. Log 11.377.1. Subject Metroid Prime's breach of Subject Metroid Prime's breach has been contained. Reports indicate that it sensed a large batch of raw Phazon in the lab from within its stasis tank and broke through the glass using previously unsuspected strength. Besides consuming all of the Phazon, Metroid Prime assimilated several weapons and defense systems from fallen security units. It has suffered no ill effects from the said assimilation. Indeed, it began to use its newly acquired weapons against us. Once we pacified it, we were unable to remove the assimilated gear without threat to Metroid Prime. The gear is now an integral part of its body. Command is intrigued by this newfound ability and has ordered further study to commence at once. Increase Phazon portion of Elite Pirate Ration by 18%. Report any signs of ration rejection by elites at once. Pirate data. Log 11.664.2. There have been numerous incidents involving spectral entities at Chozo ruin sites. Several personnel have been assaulted by these Chozo ghosts. Few have survived. Survivors speak of swift attacks from nowhere, brief sightings of the enemy, then nothing, only to be followed by another attack. Science team believes these attacks are in response to our efforts to recover Chozo relics and artifacts. Somehow, these entities are able to interact with the physical world, and it appears they wish to keep their artifacts to themselves. We will make them pay for such arrogance, or even ghosts can be destroyed. Needed a sip of water on that. I have totally lost my door. Here we go. Oh no, it's a trap. And in all actuality, it's actually a trap right now. Metroids are not responding to synthetic sustenance. We have reason to believe they only gain nourishment from active bioenergy sources. All magnetic rail systems access must be approved by security. Metroid activity is accelerating in non-frigid areas. Increased aggression levels observed in latest elite pirate units, increasing face-on feed by 0.07% per science team mandate. Metroids from the initial batch have matured to Hunter phase. Be advised that the Hunter Metroids have a siphon tentacle it can attack with it from a distance as opposed to the close combat tactic used by younger Metroids. Science team is accepting volunteers for advanced weapon training. Collapsed Bendesium wall is structurally unsound. Security breaches in multiple areas. Unauthorized usage of resources continues. Patterns suggest these resources are being stolen by the Hunter. Increase monitoring of all resource facilities immediately. Recon teams are searching for the Hunter's gunship. Science team believes it employs a sophisticated cloaking device beyond our capabilities. Aside from dumb luck, we may never discover its location. We must contain or eliminate Aaron. Failure to comply with the command decree is not an option. Chozo ruins are off limits until further notice. Oh no, a force shield. Whatever shall we do against a force field? All available troopers report to Mine Security Command. What is up, my large dude? Cryopod damage. Immediate maintenance required. Force field offline. Access granted. Just in case you fell down from above, you can deactivate the force field from the other side. Unit ident code EPG8702 Batch 01, field designation Elite Pirate. Same thing, different code. Our enemies will tremble before the might of our elite forces. Unauthorized Metroid feeding is strictly prohibited. Death to the Hunter, death to all who oppose us. Pirate data. Log 11.232.8 Elite Pirates Upsilon's propensity for Phazon has enabled our research team to infuse it far beyond our safety restrictions, and the results have been extremely encouraging. Its constant Phazon diet has increased its mass exponentially, but it has retained all mental faculties, and shows dexterity with all elite weaponry, including plasma incendiary launchers and the chameleon manta issued for cloaking purposes. cloaking purposes, not repurposes. Elite Pirate Upsilon exhibits miraculous healing abilities when injured. It seeks out Phazon deposits and coats itself in the substance, which instantly mends the creature's wounds. The subject, which we are codenaming Omega Pirate, based on these developments, shows potential to be a new standard for our armies. Our only concern at this point is the potential overdependence on Phazon. Test results from battle simulation Samus Aran are promising. Elite units report a 74 success ratio against Aran in testing. High Command is pleased but expects a higher ratio by project's end. Increase Bombu patrols in authorized areas. Scramble all aerial units immediately. Flight pattern Sigma 4 is in effect. The nearby energy flux has caused a malfunction in this panel. Cryosleep Tank Unit CS4468R. Unit modified for Elite Pirate storage. Dynamo Maintenance Team is not responding to service call rerouting requests to Central Command. Phazon processing and security systems are taxing the Dynamo beyond safety tolerances. Though the conversion to geothermal power is easing the drain on our systems, it is not enough. Further power use at current levels could lead to system failure. So what's fun is that if I had the X-ray visor at this point, which in vanilla standard without doing speedrun tricks, you can just see this boss outright ahead of actually dropping down. Also, that door locked behind us, which is always so comforting. Interesting that you can't log on to this one at all. I have not fought this boss for real in a long time. I'm starting to get a little bit worried because I feel like there's a trick. That I have forgotten. Multiple safety system malfunctions detected. Unit should be taken offline immediately. Entire shift of Dynamo workers have been transferred following bouts of Phazon madness. Units have reported to science team for use in laboratory studies and the new Elite Pirate program. Their oh, that's interesting. Your helmet flashes red when you get hit. Their dementia will make them adequate training adversaries for the elite team. The keeping of pets has been suspended until further notice. Domestic beasts have been deemed highly susceptible to Phazon madness and are thereby a hazard to personnel. All Gron cats and Olbaps Sure. Must be disposed of immediately. Failure to comply will result in the loss of pay for a cycle and reduced rations. Anyway, all the doors are locked, and is there a way to scan this? Like, that is my main concern right now, is just like, hey, can I scan this? So, let's take a quick aside. We're gonna have a quick little Google. Be right back. Okay. I'm struggling with controls, but we are back. As it turns out, no, we can't scan it. So, problem solved. As it turns out, Wave Beam has real handy traits where, you know, we can... The Wave Buster doesn't require a lock-on to home, so that solves that problem real good. Anyway, it's maze time. Let's do a maze. Almost got through without damage. Power Bomb acquired. While in Morph Ball Bomb mode, press Y to release a Power Bomb. Power Bombs can destroy tougher materials than Morph Ball Bombs. Additional details in the usual places. Hey, Morph Ball Bomb. Morph Ball Bomb is not the Power Bomb. The Power Bomb is the strongest Morph Ball weapon. Power Bombs do not have unlimited ammo. Use them wisely. Power Bomb can destroy many materials, including Bendesium. Each Power Bomb expansion you find will increase the number of Power Bombs you can carry by 1. Also, I never really noted it, but hey, our Morph Ball looks new and fancy after Gravity Suit. Well, hey. Okay. This would be a good place to call it, except there's quite frankly just not much more we can do. Class Bendesium wall section is structurally unsound. There's your proof of concept of, hey, use Power Bomb. New research entry has been ended. Is Power Bomb ammunition. Replies Power Bomb, but it's 1 round of ammo. A bunch of mega turrets. The cryo tank failure bioform life signs are at a flat line. You don't say. Take that, turrets. Fungal invigoration fluid processing levels normal. Studies indicate decreased aggression between elite pirates and irradiated Metroids. Science team believes the infusion of phazon in these units may be forming a type of symbiosis between them. Further studies are underway. Infusion of phazon into local fungi is proceeding. This program has produced a cheap, viable ration for many of our phazon-enhanced units on Talon 4. A mass production program has been authorized. Suspension of synthetic Metroid rations has been ordered. Synthetic Metroid rations to be replaced by live bioenergy resources on 12.025.1. Security now taking volunteers for hunting parties. The target is Bioform Samus Aran, also known as the Hunter. And also, warning, force field disengage. Metroid containment area will be breached. Science team reminds all personnel to refrain from antagonizing Metroids. Severe penalties will be enforced for all violations of this order. The part is both fun for the both for just the aspect of causing mischief that results in, you know, space pirates getting destroyed by their own machinations, and also you see like what does a Metroid actually do to people that aren't you. And it's just like, oh, they are like the apex predator of the known universe. Report any force field malfunctions to Operations Command immediately. Do not disengage force field without command authorization, suckers. Size increase of 400% indicated in fungal unit. Alright, so spectral analysis. Spectral increase at Talon site. Life growth. So that hint seemed to trigger immediately upon crossing this threshold, which makes sense because this it's barely visible, but like the very light purple trails there, you can see that there are, there we go. There are moving platforms. And that is over a big old pit of phazon, which real hurts. Just because we're near a save point. That was, what, 50 damage for like 3 seconds? Oh, ice troopers. So anyway, I think that's another one of those cases where the hint system is like pointing out the, no, really, you need to backtrack out of here. And we have kind of a similar situation as we had with the, when we got the thermal visor. We are now in the belly of the beast and we need to fight our way out. However, that is going to be an effort for next time. But yeah, we need to fight our way out. Just trying to think of map stuff. It's a little sad that the place we need to go is straight back the way we came. And there's another exit that we now have access to. But going that way is just not required yet. That, is there any reason to even go through that path? No, like, just flat out no. It's interesting to me. Anyway, that collapsed tunnel, this map is of mild confusion, but Metroid quarantine, so much quarantine. This tunnel. So that tunnel there, that little like raised section, that was where we found that obstruction. This leads to the other elevator out of Phazon Mines, which leads to that blocked tunnel that we saw Mendesium in Magmore, where from the bridge you could see out into the crater, the impact crater, and like the cradle area. Again, like, is having these like key monument places just kind of grounds the world, and I think that's cool. Anyway, I'm sitting here rambling. Let's wrap this. Thank you very much for watching. I've been Bryce. This has been VHS Play. Have yourself a lovely evening.